and game number 3 is going to be played on light shades. Once again, with the red pieces on the top left hand side, it is glaba. And on the bottom right hand side, it means that with the blue pieces, it is once again going to be Zelos. Now, you might be thinking, where has the background music gone? Well, it has gone because it broke when I started this replay the first time. It sounded like 2 of the songs were playing at a time, so apologies for a little bit of a quieter session. Maybe our man consciously eating will be happily editing in some music of his own. But apart from that, it is pure gameplay sound, pure Littlewargame magic. And with that, this worker is going to make... He is going to make a wolf den. Yeah. Glaba does like his beasts. Zelos, on the other hand, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. He is going for a Rex. Now, we've seen Zelos go for an early game aggression with 2 wolf dens, and we've seen Glaba defend it and win. We've seen Zelos go for a pretty standard raider opening aggression, and we've seen Glaba defend it, but then bottle it in the end, which meant that Zelos got the win. Of course, the archers, absolutely devastating to the dragons of Glaba, but it feels like Glaba could have done a little more to take advantage of the slow-moving army of Zelos. But then again, Zelos seeing that many dragons and stuff also did not get himself a ballista, and also did not get himself an airship to maybe drop some units into the main base of Glaba. Try and be the beast player as a Rex player. You want to wreak a little bit of havoc yourself, because Glaba playing beast obviously has the advantage of the movement speed, and he can have a lot of map presence, so you definitely want to either know exactly what your opponent is doing or establish the map presence by yourself, as he is doing at this current moment with the Raider. Did manage to get a second hit in, is not going to get a third hit in just yet. Well, he did get a hit in, but it was at the wrong wolf. So I'm going to be interested to see how this game is going to play out. We've seen Beast versus Beast and Beast versus Rex. It being a 1-1 now as well. Technically with the momentum in favor of Zelos here. It was 0-1 and now he won a game, so he is on the up and up. The Glaba, of course, having the great 1-0 start, is now a little bit on the back foot. He is getting himself a natural base, which is a little bit slower than the one of our blue player here this time around. Is not the best situation for Glaba to be in. We have seen him only in a more advantageous position, I'd like to say. So this is interesting. Now, is it devastating? No. There is not that big of a difference between these bases. It is 6 seconds pretty much. And even though the difference can easily be made in the early game when everything is still relatively slow paced, it is definitely not the end of it. Zelos over here though is playing it very risky with his Raider. Is going to be able to run it away though. Might actually be a little bit closer than he wants it to be. Does not have any energy for another flash. And is he going to get surrounded? Okay, he is getting surrounded. He does want to move over to this spot. No, he does not want to move over to that spot. He definitely wants to flash away though. Does flash away, but maybe he wanted to wait for just a second longer so he could flash over the wall. but that raider is now dead. Having that said, an additional barracks has been made. The archer production has once again started, but these are quite a few wolves on the way to attack a player in the blue. He should have enough to deal with it. However, is that actually going to be the case? A very nice hold position on this soldier. A soldier and a raider definitely going to be able to deal quite some damage to the wolves over here. This wolf is going to be taken down relatively easily. This other wolf is also going to be taken down. No, it is not going to be taken down, at least not completely. Glaba, what are you doing, my man? He is going to proxy a workshop. Okay, that is very interesting. I assume that he is going to get a catapult and going to try and barrage Zelos over here. He is going to get himself 2 additional racks though. I'm not entirely sure if you can support 4 racks on just 2 bases, but that doesn't mean that it is going to stop him from trying. The army count is definitely in favor of a player in the red. If you look at the total amount, it is 14 wolves versus 1 raider, 3 archers, and 4 soldiers. No additional defensive structures means that is everything that Zelos has. Once again, workers are insanely strong. Relatively speaking. Also, a nice positioning from a player in a blue, having the soldiers hold position at key points, not allowing our man to just run straight in. It looks like there might be an opening between the castle and the house though. Glaba, with a watchtower, definitely wants to keep him contained. He is also getting himself a catapult with the workshop, as I thought he would. So this is going to be a very tough position for Zelos here. More and more wolves are entering this army composition. 20 wolves in total, and 1 catapult and a watchtower. That is going to be rough. The watchtower also almost being complete. Just 5 more seconds to build. There's also a workshop on the way for a player in the blue, but it is just a little bit too late. He does see the wolves, but he does not see the watchtower here. He does now see the watchtower being made, and the push has started. He sees the catapult shots hitting his house, and I think this might just be a GG relatively quickly, unless Glaba is actually going to take down his entirely own army. But once again, there's just not a lot of great micro from our player in the blue. A lot of catapult shots are just going to be shooting away at the army here. Not that much that our player in the red is going to be, or our player in the blue is going to be able to do here. He does push it back just a little, but the watchtower once again is just going to be taking so many shots at all the workers here, and even more shots at the soldiers here. Once they do get surrounded by the wolves, there's just so much DPS. Another catapult is coming in, so there's 3 in total. Some more shots are going to get onto the army of our player in the blue, and it looks like everything is just slowly dying. More and more hits land everywhere. The watchtower is still pretty much, well, it is on full health. The worker repairing it all the way. This watchtower, being half completed, does want to continue to complete it. So far it is doing well. The health of it is pretty low though. The 3 catapults will deal quite a lot of extra damage. The siege is real. A 4th catapult is entering the fray. More wolves are entering his force. These archers are going to be in a little bit of a tricky position, but if we look at the income, let me move it to a little bit of a darker position, is almost double. It is 50% higher than the one from a player in the blue. 4 catapults simultaneously shooting away at this castle, and once these workers even attempt to get close to it, this watchtower is going to be able to take it down relatively easily. Another watchtower is going to be constructed right next to the other one. And it is just going to be absolutely devastating. Nothing that Zelos can do here. So it looks like it is going to be a 2-1 for a player in the red. And there it is. A GG to end the game in just 8.5 minutes. Glaba is now on match point. So let's see if Zelos can actually manage to pull back and take Glaba all the way.